you able to then start competing?
I started competing actually quite late in my career. I actually didn't like racing when I was younger, so I preferred the training. So I actually only started racing again in 1997 when I was 15, and I made the senior national team for Western Province only in my third year at university. So it was quite late in my career that I started competitively, but yeah.
For a young person or for parents who are considering competitive swimming for their children, what would be your advice?
You've got to love it and remember why you do it. I think it's a really tough sport to be involved in. It's a lot of long hours slogging up and down a pool, and if you don't enjoy it, it's really not worth doing. But it's a great platform for any other sport as well, and if you love it, then go for it and give it your all. Be prepared for a lot of hard work, but you know, it's allowed me to have the platform that I have had to be able to do what I do now. And I did love it. The reason why I stopped is because I lost my joy in it. And I think if you can remember why you do, whether it's swimming or whatever sport, or even if it's music or art, always remember why you do it. And if you lose your enjoyment, then you've got to reconsider and figure out something else to do, because life is really short.
Moving away from the competitive aspect, learning how to swim is a life skill. And why would you also encourage parents then that if they have a fear, or if their children have a fear, to move away from this and perhaps enroll them into lessons, so that you are grooming someone who is able to have the skill of being able to swim?
Yeah, I think especially in South Africa with so many rivers and oceans, even if you don't live on the coast, there are a lot of rivers in our country, and I think it's an essential life skill. And I think that every child, it's almost a right, like education, to be able to swim. So I do encourage parents to try and enroll their kids to learn to swim. They don't have to be competitive, they just need to be safe. And I think it's tragic the amount of drownings that we have each year because of kids and even adults that can't swim. So I know the government's working really hard on trying to have programs available for kids, but I think it's an essential life skill that needs to be encouraged and pursued.
Now, in terms of your world record and this journey that you've undertaken, endurance swimming, but this really takes it to another level. How did you train for this entire process?
So it's been years of training. I think my years as a competitive swimmer gave me a really strong base. My very first channel swim in Hawaii, which was the Kaiwi channel swim, I spent 5 years training for that, so that was also a lot of hours.
5 years for one swim?
For one swim. I wanted to be really well prepared. It was my first channel swim. It was my first swim of any significance. Coming from the background that I did, I really needed to make sure that I had everything in place. It was delayed because I had bilharzia that was undiagnosed for 8 months and a few other setbacks. So, but for me, I don't like to go into something unprepared, so I wanted to make sure that everything was ready. I also had to do my own fundraising for that swim, which was really tough. So that gave me a really good platform for this recent world record. And then I did a 100-kilometer swim in Mozambique and Northern Natal and Sodwana last year, which was a stage swim over 6 days. And that also really prepared me for this swim. So I had a lot of swims behind me, exposure in swims in Cape Town, doing cold water swimming, Cape Point, Robben Island, a couple of training camps there. So I had a lot of ocean experience behind me, which helped prepare me for the swim.